Hey guys, this is RR Short Films 13, aka Ryan, and today I am doing a live stream, basically to talk about my movies, the future of movies, um, and I'm gonna do a couple unboxing videos of two 4K Blu-rays that I have, and just basically just talk about future movies that are coming out in general, horror movies, and to have a discussion and yeah. Mod checking in. Hi, Ryan. Hey, Kaylee. Thank you for joining the chat. Thank you, my moderator. This is my shirt. I actually got this New Year's, straight out of your nightmare. It's got Pennywise, Jason, Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger, Chucky. So you have like all of them. So I love my shirt. Um, but yeah, I haven't live streamed since uh, thank you, Kaylee. I haven't live streamed since um you know, the end of April, and it was April 23rd. Yeah, it was when Rise of Elm Street came out. So it's been about almost 2 months. Um, but yeah, I wanted to do a new live stream for you guys. And even if it's just you, Kaylee, in here, tonight, I don't care about that. Just the fact that there's one person, that's all I care about. The fact that one person is listening to me and engaging in, the chat. That's all I care about. It seems always up in the air with my streams. Sometimes, a lot of people join. Sometimes it's only very little people. Um, you really don't know with live streams, and also it's become such a competition now because there's so many, um, you know, uh, live streams now. What am I doing? Okay. Anyway, stop playing with my hair. Um, yeah, I like live streaming. I just think that YouTube could like offer more, um, you know, uh, with settings and every. I mean, I just wish the setup was a little bit easier. Um, but uh, but yeah, yeah, I'm just excited. Hopefully, a couple more people will join, and then I can finally talk about movie news and I mean my films. Where I'm going. It's not just um, the next Nightmare fan film. It's also other um, movies as well. Just stuff I'm gonna do for my channel, new videos. I just want to update everyone, um, and let everyone know I'm gonna be doing stuff for my YouTube channel, my platform this year. So even though I'm not making a movie right now, I'm still going to be involved in my channel. Um, Live streams are always such a dog eat dog thing with the algorithm as it is. Yes, yeah, very very true. Yeah, I think when I first started live streaming, more people were in the live stream. That was also pre-COVID. Um, and then I remember during COVID, a lot of people did join my live stream. But after once we got to like 2022, uh, then that's when I first like started to notice that people weren't joining my live streams anymore. Like not a lot of people. Um, but that's all right. It doesn't mean that I'm not going to have a live stream one night. Where yeah, I will have tons of people join, and it will be like a whoa thing, like what? Um, you know, uh, there's live streamers all the time that they don't get a lot of likes and views, so, and then some of their other streams they do. So it varies. Um, but I think also because my channel is mainly for my movies. Why uh, people don't really watch my other content as much. My reaction videos, unboxing videos, all that stuff, even if I did like, um, uh, well, yeah, even if I did like other kinds of videos, it's definitely it's a big competition on YouTube. It took a long time for me to even get to 2K subscribers, over 2K subscribers, and that took 15 years to get there. Um, that was a very long process, getting that many subscribers. And also back in like 2011, 2012, I think it was 2012, YouTube was removing like accounts that were no longer like they were no longer inactive, like they accounts that were deleted from people or like they were deleted by YouTube. And so I had a lot of subscribers, and when YouTube did that, I lost like half of my subscribers. Um, I remember that being a huge thing when that happened, in 2012 for YouTubers. Every content creator was talking about it, and it was a big thing. So a lot of us YouTubers, we had to like start over a lot with getting new subscribers, and so that I think I would have a lot more if that didn't happen. But that was YouTube's decision, and if those accounts didn't even exist anymore, and those people weren't even watching my channel, my videos, and kind of it's like, what's the point? But it makes me look uh, makes my channel look like not people aren't as interested. Of course, more subscribers you have, the more people are intrigued, the more they think that the more willing to give your content a chance than if you have a small amount of subscribers. Would you ever consider doing live streams on Instagram or TikTok? I have thought about that. I have. Uh, it's just because I haven't done it before. And though, I mean, TikTok I could do on my computer. I wouldn't have to use my iPhone. So I wouldn't necessarily be against TikTok. Um, I've never been a huge fan of TikTok. I don't hate TikTok. I just I post some of my movie trailers on there, to promote my YouTube channel and stuff. But yeah, I'm not against live streaming on TikTok. I mean, if that would mean that I would get more views from people, more people engaged in the live streams, then I would be willing to give that a chance. Instagram, I have never done that, but I'm open-minded to that as well. I wish Instagram, like there was an app of it on your like on a computer, because then I could then live stream through my webcam on my computer and this setup. Because with my iPhone, what I have to do is connect it to a tripod and make sure it's set up correctly, and it's really hard to um, put my iPhone back here, where my computer is. It's just really hard. It's like space on my desk that I need and stuff. So um, I'll just have to figure that out. Um, and with how I'm going to just live stream, like where I'm going to be sitting and getting the right camera angle where people can see me well, in a good frame for the live stream. And uh, um, but yeah, I mean, since YouTube, I'm not. A lot of people don't engage in my live streams. Maybe TikTok and Instagram is worth giving a chance. Maybe I'll have a get more responses there. And then, people that follow me on Instagram through my live streams or TikTok, then I can, share my YouTube to them. And then maybe, my YouTube live streams will have more people um, in here. Maybe even like right when I start the live stream. I've heard good things about viewership and comments on TikTok. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've used TikTok. I just never used it. I don't use it a whole lot. YouTube is the main place for me because that's when I created my YouTube channel. Or I created RBR Short Films 13. All that started with YouTube, and that was all the way back to 2009. So that many years of just building my channel and everything, it was just hard to think about any other like social media uh, to be on, to like promote my channel. But I've used Facebook, like my Facebook page, of course, Instagram, and I do use TikTok to help promote my channel. But live streams, yeah, that's a good idea. Kaylee, I did not think about that. I did not think about that, so thank you. Because easily something I could have thought about, but I didn't think about it. But what I'm gonna do real quick is I'm gonna grab, scissors because 'cause I'm gonna do 2 unboxing, uh, Blu-rays, before I start to talk about my movies and, updates about that, and then, of course, what I'm gonna be doing for my YouTube channel outside of my films, and then we can just discuss horror movies and movies in general that are coming out and just talk about that. So, I'm gonna go grab this to, so I can open these new, 4K Blu-rays, and yeah, so I'll be right back. Alright, so I'm back. Thank you for not going anywhere, Kaylee. Hopefully that wasn't long, I just grabbed scissors, but yeah. You have to be like a you have to have, like, thousands of subscribers, for people to stay on your live stream if you have to, like, you know, uh, go somewhere real quick, you know? Like, if you're a small YouTuber live streaming, people are not gonna be sitting waiting on you, you know? So yeah, I mean, I've learned a lot more about live streaming this year, I've done more research on it, in the end of last year, so I've, uh, just because it helps. I'm learning that it's helped builds your channel, it helps build your platform, and it's like you can promote your, everything better, all your content better. You can discuss it, live with people, and I think people really like that rather than just watching a video, that's like 10 minutes long, and then they just comment on it. I think people do like live streams. I like live streams. I mean, they've grown on me, a lot. Because I didn't, like, I always liked live streams, but they've grown on me through time. So yeah, it makes me more, interested in doing this more often. Um, and I don't know. Hopefully, at some point, I'll get a new computer and I can do more, with live streaming. And also, if I get a new computer, I have a better webcam as well. Because I want to upgrade to a better camera too. Because it's important, for the quality of your live streams to look good. But of course, that's not always everything. It's the content itself. It's what you, create, and if people like that content, more so rather than the quality. Even though that is a very important part of your channel, your live streams. Right here, right now, media always has a place in my heart. It's like interactive TV. Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna do two unboxing 4K Blu-rays. Um, one of them, one of them is Kill Bill, Volume One, 4K, and the other one is American Psycho, 4K. Now, I recently watched this on Tubi, and I like avoided this movie like forever. Like I just was like, okay, American Psycho, I'll get around to it at some point. Like it wasn't a movie that I was like rushed to see or felt like I had to watch it. Um, but I watched it about a few weeks ago, and I was very, very surprised by it. And I was watching it on Tubi too with ads, like in low quality, but I actually ended up really liking American Psycho. I haven't seen the uncut version. I've only seen the theatrical version, but, I liked it a lot more than I thought I was going to. I really did not know what to expect when I was watching it. I'm just like, "What is this movie even about?" Because I've seen videos of it, like, throughout time, of the movie, and I'm just like, "What is this film? What is going on here?" So I just had to check it out at some point, and I'm glad that I did. So, yeah, I picked up in 4K Blu-ray. It was for, like, 10 bucks on Amazon. I was like, "Okay, it's 4K, the Blu-ray and digital for $10. I'll do that." And then Kill Bill, Volume 1, um, like, growing up, like, I was a big fan of, like, Steven Spielberg, and then Christopher Nolan, became my favorite, like, filmmaker after Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, Inception. It wasn't until 2012 where I got into Quentin Tarantino's films. I was very confused by his movies. Like, I just was really thrown off by his tone, and I just couldn't get into it until I was about 17, and then I went to go see Django Unchained, and that was a packed audience, and I remember I went to that open I that was it came out on Christmas. I went to that opening night, and I was blown away by that because I didn't see Pulp Fiction or or even the Kill Bill movies before I saw Django Unchained. That was my introduction to, Tarantino, and I thought it was just such a great movie, and, um, the fact he was able to balance, like, drama and action and comedy and all these different, like, genres in one. I just was really blown away by that. And then I just started watching all of his movies after, Django Unchained. Um, and I was like, "Wow, Pulp Fiction, this movie, Reservoir Dogs, the Kill Bills." But the Kill Bills ended up being my favorites of after watching all of Tarantino's movies. The Kill Bill movies are my favorites. It just I don't know, especially Volume 1 because it's an action movie. It's like beginning to end. Like it's all this action, and I love that. And you care about you know uh, the bride. You care about Uma Thurman's character. You're rooting for her throughout the whole movie. And it's just such a great revenge story and just the way the movie opens, the opening of the movie, you're just like, what? Um, so it was, yeah, like watching Volume 1, Volume 2 back to back. I eventually got to pick up Volume 2 uh, in 4K Blu-ray, but I own that in the 1080p of it, and I own it in 4K digital. So, but yeah, I always preferred Volume 1 a little bit more. But I would love if Tarantino would just release. Yes, The Bride is very iconic. I love The Bride. If Tarantino put the first 2 movies together, and there is a cutout there actually, that is the 2 movies in one, and, like, the black and white moment is, like, because of censorship, like, it's in color, like, at the end when she's just, like, cutting everybody, just killing everybody, cutting all their legs off, that, there's a version of that where it's in color, and I wanna see that. I think that would be the ultimate release from Tarantino if he released Volume 1, Volume 2 as a supercut and included, those moments that were censored, and we get to see that, uncensored. See it in color, you know? Um, I just think that would be super, super awesome. So hopefully we get that. Don't know if we ever will, but, yeah, I mean, to me, it's one long movie, but it is kinda cool that you can say that Tarantino did make a series, he did make a sequel 'cause, he overall, he does original movies, and he never does a sequel to it. Even though he sorta connects his movies, with characters and stuff, but yeah, this is just a classic this is just a classic to me. It's a masterpiece. I've loved this movie ever since I saw it back in 2012. And I learned a lot about filmmaking through Tarantino. I really did. I didn't and I didn't watch any of his movies growing up. I was a Christopher Nolan, Steven Spielberg, George Lucas fan, like all these different filmmakers. Tim Burton. Um, but when I started watching Quentin Tarantino films, I was just yeah, yeah, his tone. I just couldn't get into his style. But now, like when I got older, I was able to get into it. And Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, that was great. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to it's called um the Movie Critic. That's what Tarantino's next movie is. It's called The Movie Critic. And that seems to be like uh doesn't it seems like it's in development uh problems. Like I don't know. He announced it, and there hasn't really been a lot of news about it. And um and also, us Quentin Tarantino fans, we don't want him to stop making movies. It's his 10th movie, and I get if he wants to, you know, go out on a high note and do other things with his life. That's fine. But I feel like more than ever, we need filmmakers like Tarantino, that really get filmmaking, that really get cinema, the way movies are shot. And because we're leading into all this AI stuff, so it's important to have filmmakers that can come up with brilliant stuff and give us those movies. And you can say none of that was AI. Tarantino doesn't even like to utilize a whole lot of CGI at all. And so I have a lot of respect for him as a filmmaker for not making all these CGI effects movies. And The Movie Critic was canceled. They aren't doing it anymore because Tarantino said it wasn't right for his finale. Might be a novel in his later years, though. Interesting, interesting. Yeah, because yeah, that would make sense. I know he's talked about, like, doing his own horror movie, which honestly, if Quentin Tarantino his last movie he'd make, it would be a horror film. That would be awesome. Especially a horror right now is the biggest right now. Of any genre of movies, horror is, like, the most financially successful, critically, like, everything right now. Like, horror is at its prime right now. So if he made a horror movie, like, that would be awesome, like, with his drama and, like, his characters and dialogue. Like, it could be something like Silence of the Lambs, all we know. It could be something really masterful, Um, that would be amazing because he talked about a Star Trek movie. He talked about which even that sounds cool. I mean, the fact he wants to make, like, a retro Star Trek film and stuff. Like, he has all these ideas, Kill Bill Volume 3. Like, volume 3 of Kill Bill might be up next as a comic or his 10th movie. I hope so. I really hope volume 3 gets made. That would be really, really awesome. And I think he was talking about like a pitch once of what he would do for volume 3, which would be that, the bride would be, like, killed in, like, the beginning of the movie, and her daughter would, like, avenge her death, and it would be, like, a Bill that killed her, but it wouldn't be the Bill from the first 2 movies. It would be a different character that his name is Bill. And, so the bride's daughter would be getting revenge on everyone that was responsible for, the bride her mom's death. Um, that sounds awesome. And Uma Thurman's daughter is, like, acting and stuff. So, I mean, I think he said, one of his old, like, interviews, he said he shot footage for volume 3 when he was filming volume 1 and volume 2. So, uh, he should go for it. Give us a trilogy, that would just be super awesome. And I know he's talked about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood sequel, um, but that's not even being directed by Quentin Tarantino. That's a different director. So that's something like, what would be like True Romance. Tarantino wrote that script, but he didn't direct it. So that'll be interesting because I do like seeing different directors' visions with Tarantino's his scripts and his stories. It's interesting because you go into it like how Tarantino is this going to be or how not Tarantino is this going to be. The way it's everything's all executed, the tone, atmosphere of the film, the way it's edited, all those things are very interesting. But yeah, I just hope that he makes at least 2 to 3 more movies. He's just such a great filmmaker. I just don't want him to stop here. But you know, all right. But anyway, I'm gonna unbox these now instead of continue to talk. I think I'm gonna start with um, let's see. Actually, I'm gonna do something funny and make a poll. If I can. Okay, community moderation, participants, moderation activity, timestamps, reactions, pop out chat. Why can't I find the um, I can't find the poll. Like the where you can create a poll chat. I wonder where you go for that. Usually it's so easy to find. Okay, never mind. All right, here we go. Okay, all right, all right, all right. There's a poll, so you guys can vote on which Blu-ray I'm going to unbox first. Are we unboxing American Psycho first, or are we unboxing Kill Bill Volume 1 first? All right, I'm looking at the polls. All right, so one says American Psycho. I'm gonna see if anybody else is gonna vote. I'll give you guys 10 seconds to vote on the which one I should unbox of these 4K Blu-rays. American Psycho, American Psycho, or Kill Bill. All right, American Psycho it is. I get see with this webcam here. It's like it's the way that the camera is. It's like the left side and like right side. It's like different. Like sometimes I get confused like with my left hand, where because it looks like like the I don't explain it, but like on the camera, it looks like the right side, uh, uh, and then this looks like the left side. When this is the right side of my body, this is the left side of my body. So that stuff is just trippy sometimes with cameras. Anyway, but we're gonna start with American Psycho. Here we go. Mirror vision. Yes, that's what I mean, Kaylee. That's what I mean. Yeah, mirrors have always been trippy uh, my whole life. And movies have used mirrors all the time too. Um, so for like uh, certain scenes, it's pretty amazing when movies do that, like with mirrors, where they trick the audience with a shot. And But yeah, I mean that's how trippy mirrors are. All right, so here we go. I'm gonna show. Let's show the back here. So I don't just unbox it and don't show you guys what it all says. All right. So I'm gonna take it out. All right. And then the back here, it's the same, pretty much the same thing. So, all right, we're gonna unbox this. And I'm left-handed, by the way, everybody. So if it looks all like awkward how I uh, use scissors, it's because I'm left-handed. I've literally had to be given left-handed scissors like at school growing up and at jobs that I worked at. Um, yeah, like it's a lot more difficult for lefties, for sure. If you're right-handed, you're lucky, my opinion. But they say that people are left-handed are more creative. I don't know if that's true. All right. All right, so let's open the case. Hide the digital copy. All right. So there you go. 4K Ultra HD American Psycho, American Psycho. So it has a disc 1, which is the 4K with Dolby please don't make fun of me, people. Dolby Atmos, Dolby Vision. I cannot pronounce Dolby correctly. I'm sorry. It's growing up I say Dolby and then people are like Dolby. So I'm like, is it Dolby? So Dolby Atmos, Dolby Vision. Anyway, you guys know what that means. And this, yeah, it comes with 2 discs. The second disc is probably the 1080p uh, version of the disc. So if you don't have a 4K Blu-ray player, and I mean, or you don't have a 4K TV, then you can watch it on this disc. Now sometimes when they do that, the 1080p version of the disc is like the 4K, but just lower down to 1080p. And then sometimes it's the original Blu-ray, years before the 4K was even released. So you get to watch it in 2 different, like, qualities instead of, watching it in 1080p, but the 4K scan. So it depends on which Blu-ray you get, 'cause, every, like, Blu-ray does that differently. Okay, so that is, American Psycho. So now we're gonna unbox Kill Bill Volume 1. Let me ask you, Kaylee, what'd you think of Christian Bale as Batman? So I've heard a lot of like mixed responses about Christian Bale's Batman, but I've overall heard good things about him. But a lot of people say he's like a better Bruce Wayne, um, because of the raspy voice that he did. Um, with like Batman, like every other actor that's played Batman never did the "Where's Rachel?" And The Dark Knight is my favorite superhero movie. So like that that didn't ruin the movie for me. It's just, Batman doesn't. That's not Batman. You know, and like especially if you're going for a more serious direction of Batman, that's not a way to do it. But thankfully, Christopher Nolan got everything else right. Um, but yeah, I think Christian Bale did the best in Batman Begins, including his voice of Batman. It was like the least raspy, out of all 3 movies. So I'd say that Batman Begins was his best film. But he got better as an actor like throughout time. I adore the Christian Bale Batman, raspy voice and all. My favorite live action Batman is still Ben Affleck. He just felt right, but Christian paved the way. Yeah, I, I, yeah. Um, Ben Affleck's Batman is literally like the comics. Like that is the comics. Like the build, how he is as Bruce Wayne. It's like when you watch Ben Affleck as Batman and as Bruce Wayne, I feel like I'm watching the comics. Um, and like the classic animated cartoons of Batman. So that's what why I like why I like Ben Affleck's Batman. Um, I think he could have had a better send off, you know. Um, uh, Ben Affleck was just pulled out of Dark Knight Returns. Oh, okay. So they were planning on a Batman movie with Ben Affleck? Because I thought the DCU with James Gunn, like, this was a reset button. They didn't even have any plans to do anything with those characters. Um, and I was a big fan of the DCEU. Like, I was. Like, I own Snyder's Justice League in 4K. I don't own Man of Steel or Dawn of Justice. Um, but I have Zack Snyder's Justice League because that to me is just like such a great movie. Especially for it to be so long. It's such a great film, my opinion. Uh, and it's 4-hour length. I just love it. A long superhero movie that goes into all the characters and doesn't leave anything out, and the way that it was like setting up, a second one and third one, like I was very intrigued by that. But studios didn't want to do they didn't want to work with Zack Snyder. They didn't want to work with him on the Batman films. And it really is. I mean, just like movies, it really is too bad because I do want to see DC start over like they are with Superman, but I did want to see a conclusion to the whole DCEU with a Justice League 2 and a Justice League 3. I think Zack Snyder like could have done something really great with that, but I also think maybe he didn't want to make it a Justice League 2 and 3 anymore. Maybe people he worked with at Warner Brothers and DC, he just, it didn't end well, in 2017, and he doesn't want to work with those people and go through that process, which I can understand. I can understand that. But yeah, there's always going to be that what if, what could have been for the DCEU. Uh, how, excuse me. No, no, sorry. I just meant that he just was that Batman. Yes. Yep, exactly. And that Dark Knight Returns Batman. Have you seen the original plans that Zack Snyder showcased in his art exhibition back in 2021? He had the entire thing planned out beautifully. He did. Yes, I did see that. I just wondered, did he really want to make them though? Was he just saying that because it was COVID and he wanted people to feel better at the time, what we were living in, or was it something that he really did have planned and then things changed? Um, I also think Ezra Miller did not help the situation. I think Ezra Miller really ruined it. He really ruined like it all. Like I don't think if any of that stuff like happened with Ezra Miller, they just would have got a different actor to play Flash. I think it'd be a different story right now. I really think it would. Um, Zach really did. He still meets with James Gunn to pitch his case, but no dice. Yeah, James Gunn doesn't want to do anything DCU. He wants to start over with Wonder Woman, with Superman, Batman. He wants to bring back, like, he wants to modernize the way, like the Wonder Woman show. He wants to bring that into modern day and have it be for today's generation. So it's less cheesy, and stuff like that, but it has, a heart and it's not super dark, in tone. And I think he's trying to do that is bring back these characters and not make them all super serious. Um, uh, But as a filmmaker, he has to like find that middle ground of it not being too serious or too cartoony, um, but honestly, I think the new Superman movie is gonna be good. If you I mean, all the Guardians of the Galaxy movies were good, especially that last one was, um, really, really good, so I'm gonna give it a chance. I'm actually flying out to Chicago to see my Uncle Gary, to see it with him, like, opening night when it comes out, and then that's when I'm gonna be discussing, the Rise of Elm Street sequel with him and, go through, like, a table read. I'm gonna have, my actors FaceTime with him when I'm there, and we're gonna be planning out the movie and stuff, so, I'm excited for that. Anyway, let's get to Kill Bill Volume 1 unboxing, and then we'll talk after. Alright, American Psycho, and now Kill Bill Volume 1, doing an unboxing. I'm hesitant for the Wonder Woman show because he called it DC's Game of Thrones, but the Superman movie next month is something I'm so excited for. Yeah, yeah. I love Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. I loved the first Wonder Woman movie. I loved her and all like and Dawn of Justice and in Justice League. I thought she was great. Um, and, even Wonder Woman 1984, that's not the best movie, but she still did a great acting job, regardless of, like, the dialogue she was given, the source material she was given in that movie or direction, she still gave a really great performance. So, and anytime she has a cameo, like in the Shazam: Fury of the Gods or, The Flash, like, she steals the show, she definitely, like, uh, it becomes her movie in that moment. So, I wish that they could just continue with Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, and um, even though they're going a new direction, uh, so even if they did a reset, with Wonder Woman, even if they just kept Gal Gadot, that would be cool because they've done that with actors in the past where they, did a reboot of the story, but they kept the same actor or actress. So that would be really, really cool if they did that. Um, but we'll see. I mean, DC, it's just they have their hits and misses, and it's just seems to be up in the air. Uh, but we'll see. All right, so this is Kill Bill Volume 1. This is the back here, which gives you all the details of the picture and sound, and tells you what's on the Blu-ray, all the bonus features. So that's really, really cool. The making of Kill Bill Volume 1, bonus uh, musical performances, Tarantino trailers of his movies. Uh, yeah, I wonder if there's any bonus features on here that haven't been on the previous Blu-rays yet. But let's take this out. This is actually the first 4K Blu-ray I own of Quentin Tarantino as well. Because I own Inglorious Bastards in 4K digital, and I own Pulp Fiction in 4K digital, um, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. But uh, but in terms of a Blu-ray, this is a Blu-ray that I first Quentin Tarantino 4K Blu-ray that I've gotten so far. All right. All right. See if that'll do it. Wow, is it? Okay. All right. Okay. Same thing on the back. Looks the same. So same stuff. Open up the disc. Okay, comes with a digital code. And here we go. That looks so sick, even though one is upside down. All good. All good. All right. So the first one here must be 1080p lowered. I mean, sorry, 4K. The 4K lowered to 1080p quality. Um, that's my guess because this is like a new image on the disc that isn't Volume One Blu-ray that I have. So I would assume that it's new. It also says Dolby Audio. So and then here's the 4K disc, and that has 4K Ultra HD, Blu-ray, Dolby Vision, Dolby Audio, DTS HD. And I've seen it in 4K digital. I just haven't seen it in 4K Blu-ray yet. Wait, whoa, 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 whoa. What is this? Why is it falling out here? Oh, geez. Come on. I normally don't see like the case like artwork like be falling out like this. Maybe I can get your advice, Kaylee. Like, what do I do? Because like the like this is coming out of the case, like the artwork of Kill Bill. I'm trying to. I want it to look like better, and I don't know what to do. Yeah, I mean, like when I just like took it out of this, then it just like was, yeah, it's like this, and I'm like, is there a way to? Okay, I think because this normally doesn't happen. I'm not like used to fixing this, but what the heck? Let's move the case more over to the. I am so sorry, guys. I'm almost done here. Just because I just got this Blu-ray and I want it to look. I want it to look good. I want the artwork to be intact. I just don't want it to be. Let's see if I can move this up a little bit more. All right. Okay, I fixed it as best as I could. All right. Does that look better? I think it looks a little bit better than it did. Okay, so that is my two unboxings of two new 4K Blu-rays I have. American Psycho and Kill Bill Volume 1. Um, and yeah, it's great to add these to my collection of 4K Blu-rays. I just love 4K Blu-ray. More so, I mean, than like 4K digital, because you just get better picture and sound out of it, and it's very noticeable. It's very noticeable. Like if you have a sound bar or a surround system, you really can tell the difference between 4K digital and 4K Blu-ray. There is definitely a difference because the sound is louder, the picture is even more clear. There's more detail. Um, Yay, the bride looks amazing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm excited to watch the Blu-ray of it. I watched the digital of it, but I can't wait to watch the actual Blu-ray of it. Um, Still can't wait for the Elm Street 4K box set this year. Yeah, that's number one. Um, and I'll let you guys know I did go to a Friday the 13th 8 movie marathon screening. That was on Jason's birthday, June 13th. Uh, and that was one of the most fun movie going experiences ever. Like, as a fan, it was it was a packed audience, and they were all fans of the movies, like, they knew those movies. People were clapping every single time, like, the movie, like, would show the opening, like, title, so you would hear loud cheers and claps and everything. More so like the earlier movies, like the first one, second one, Final Chapter, Jason Lives. I remember when Jason Lives, like I was like the first one to clap to that one, and it was the moment when Jason, is in the rain in the very beginning of the movie, and he's holding the I forget what it's called, but it's that shot of him. That's one of the most iconic images of Jason. It's just when he does that, and then the rain and the thunder with the lightning, and it zooms in on his eye, and then it's like a James Bond, intro, like he does the, and it's like a James Bond opening, um, like that. I just always love that opening. Original 8 Friday 13th movies make me so happy. Jason Lives is perfect 80s. Yeah, yeah. It was just so fun to watch all 8 movies with people. And I mean, it was dedication though. That was 13 hours of sitting through all that. Um, but they had intermissions, so you're able to go outside and you're able to like use the restroom. Uh, but they always recommended people to use the restroom when movies would be playing, so the restrooms wouldn't be so packed. And they only had like one, too. And I'm like, there's only one? There's only one restroom for all these people? Um, but yeah, it was just such an experience. And then they played the trailers of like the first four Nightmare on Elm Street movies, before the Friday 13th movie started. And they were movie trailers that I've never seen before. And what was hilarious is the beginning of it, the movie was upside down, the trailer of the original Nightmare on Elm Street. So, like, the blood that goes up in the original Nightmare movie, it was going down. Like, it shows actually the way, like that was hilarious. And that was like, wow, this is really trippy. But, yeah, that was really cool. So basically what I wanna go back to that theater in October. I wanted to show something. Okay. Um, where is it? Okay. All right. So this is the sticker that they gave out to people that went to the event because it is June 13th. It was Jason's birthday, so they gave us this, and a guy gave me a copy that was sitting the other row. I thought that was really cool. But yeah, like they had a guy that dressed up as Jason, the part three Jason and part two. So uh, he and he took pictures with everyone. So I think Kaylee, you saw my Instagram of that. That was just so cool that they had an actual Jason there, and then everybody was like singing. We all sang "Happy Birthday" to Jason, which was so great. I have that video. Like I want to post like some stuff because it's just so iconic. What an event that was. Um, and also, um, oh, thank you, Kaylee. Yeah, I love this sticker. Um, it's been so long since we've gotten Friday the 13th, anything Jason, I mean, the last one was the remake, and I was 13 when I saw that in the theater, and I'm gonna be 30 this September. It's like and I remember, like, just throughout all those years, I was so angry that there wasn't another Friday film. I'm like, "What is going on here?" And it was the rights issues, and to me, it's one of the most ridiculous lawsuits I've ever, like, read and heard about in my life is the Victor Miller, Sean Cunningham. Like, it's ridiculous. Those 2 made, like, the original together, and they couldn't sort it out in, literally, what, 16, 20, 30 years in court? Like, what like, seriously? It's so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. It's Jason Voorhees. It's not Star Wars. It's not, uh a major, like, biggest movie franchise in the world, you know, but now they resolved it, and I'm happy about that. But it seems like it just went back to how it was in the 90s when New Line had the rights. Like, they couldn't call any of their Jason movies Friday the 13th, but they could use Jason, and they could use, like, everything but call it Friday the 13th kinda thing. Um, so I think that's why this one's called Crystal Lake Memories rather than Friday the 13th, the TV series, um, because it's like for some reason Victor Miller just won't allow the title of the original movie to be used ever again. Um, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Oh man. Like, and I got a lot of respect for like Malaka Cod, like what he handled like uh he's been handling the Halloween franchise really, really well. And I got to meet him, the H45 convention in 2023. I actually talked to him. Get to have a Q&A where I got to ask him like, what was his favorite memory on the new Halloween movies, and he said that it was Jamie Lee Curtis. That was his favorite memory, was working with her. And then I got to talk to him at the after party, and that was so cool. To just be able to talk to Malaka Cod, it was like, "What?" Um, and yeah, and he just, um yeah, I'm glad that he's in the control of the series, like, the creative, standpoint, because like, he talked about all the ideas that have been pitched to him for Halloween, like the Halloween bloodlines and all these different kinds of stories, like, he went into detail, like, how bad a lot of these scripts are. And that it's really a challenge for him to find a good screenwriter and everything for Halloween. I think that's also why the TV show is taking so long because he's looking for the right writers, the right directors, people that get Halloween, that respect the source material, and aren't going to stray too far away from it. Um, that's not what he said to me, but like I just that's what I sort of pick up on. Um, Malak will always have my respect and my love for what he's done for Halloween. Yeah, yeah. I mean, the new movies, like how exciting that was. We got new 3 Halloween movies. We got 3 Halloween films, and how exciting that was, the wait for each movie, the hype. I mean, that was exciting. It wasn't like, "Oh, we're remaking Halloween," you know? It was literally they were continuing the original franchise, just they were ignoring the sequels, but they were going back to the original film, and so it just felt like I was going back to the old movies, before the remakes came out, and how Halloween was before it, and, um, how the new movies that fixed certain things that the original movies didn't get right. Um, but this is what I, grabbed from the theater that I went to see the Friday 13th movies. It's the Gap Theater, and this is what I'm going to in October. I have to go to it. It's Nightmare 1, 2, 3, and 4 all together in 35 millimeter because I saw it in the Friday movies all in its 35 millimeter format, like the original format. And what's cool about this is this year is 40 years since Freddy's Revenge. So how what a great way to celebrate the second movie. Um, and I love that. Don't fall asleep. Freddy will be in the theater watching. It'll be October 4th at 4:30 p.m. So since that's 4 movies, I'll probably end at like midnight. And I love this right here. That's the best. Attention, the first 100 people in line will receive 60 milligrams of Hypnocil to keep you from dreaming during this event. I love that. I'm so gonna try to be the first 100 people because that's awesome. And like, I don't know, who knows how like good the fake looking Hypnocil will look, because then I could like put that in my next nightmare movie, somewhere. Um, but yeah, I'm glad that movies are getting re-releases, you know. Movies didn't have the re-releases weren't really a thing when I was growing up. But now they are, and I love that. Maybe it's also because a lot of movies, half of the movies that are made now go to streaming, and digital, and so there's more room for re-releases. Um, but I think they're just some of the most fun experiences with movies is seeing movies that you saw, your whole life, you've seen through your whole life, and to see it on the big screen or see it in its original format or see it like restored, like new higher quality. I mean that's just amazing. So but yeah, I just wanted to show that real quick. And I think I'm gonna put the sticker on one of my walls real quick. All right. I'm thinking about where I should put it. You know what? I'm gonna put it under Jason. I'm gonna put it under this Jason painting that I have. Yep. I'm gonna put it under there. That's a really good spot for it. Yep. Like this right here. This is what I got in Ocean City, Maryland, like 3 years ago, and it was so cool because they had like these people like spray painters or artists, and this is one that I saw, and I was like, okay, I'm getting that, and I got to see them create it live, but that's so epic. But the eyes there was quite ahead of its time because now that's the Jason verse eye holes now, where they're wide and not, small like the original movies, how the hockey mask really looks. So, um, this would be perfect for a Jason verse promotion. But it's just a great art uh there. The artist did such a great job on it. I didn't mess it up. All right. Okay, I'm back. Oh, thank you, Kaylee. Thank you so much. Yeah, I think the painting is really beautiful. It's just it's looks so cool in my room. And I was so excited to take it home from Ocean City, Maryland. Because it was done on the boardwalk in Ocean City, Maryland. So that was really cool about it. I'm gonna take my glasses off for a little bit because also like if you thing is majority of my movies, my I don't wear my glasses, and I do that intentionally because I don't like glasses, when I play movie characters, uh, because I like to because I have to wear glasses all the time, I like seeing myself. If I have to watch myself in a movie, I like to I love the illusion as if, like, I had good eyesight and like, had good eye vision and, like, could actually see, like, really good and didn't need glasses. So it's like the character, Danny, he doesn't need glasses, he doesn't wear contacts. But that whole movie, I was like I had to really pretend that I could see, but I don't want my characters wearing glasses, I don't know. It does not to say, like, there's a movie character that I can't play that has glasses, but, only time I felt comfortable was playing when I had to play myself in New Ghostface, because that's not I mean, that's a character, but it's also me, so wearing glasses in that one wasn't so bad. Um, well, um, Kaylee, looks like you're the only one here right now, which is totally fine. It was cool other people were watching. I have no idea who was watching, but, you know, I always I sort of, it's sort of unsettling to me, when people are watching me, my streams, and then they don't comment, and it's like, I have no idea who that person is, and I don't know. It gives me anxiety. Um, um, anyway, well, you know about my generalized anxiety disorder, um, Kaylee, and I'm not going to go into all of it, but people know I have PTSD. I've been very open about that. Um, and are they shy or bots? Hey, you know what? They could be bots, right? Um, are bots basically AI? Is that what bots are? Because I like from what I know about like video games, like bots are like you know like if you're playing, a video game and you have to add bots, like I know what that means, but like online, what does that mean? Like for YouTube and all those places like streaming, what does bots mean? Yep, AI little things that are programmed to look through videos for various reasons. Okay. So basically not real people watching me. Interesting. I have no idea what's gonna happen with this AI stuff. In fact, that not all of it is a bad thing. There are some things about AI that I do like. One of them is like, think about it. If they come out with a software, Kaylee, at some point, where like I could film my actors in any location, and then I could completely create a whole different set, that looks real around them, So let's just say a movie takes place here or here, and I can't get that location, I can just completely replace everything, but the actors are still there, their performances, the way I frame the camera shots and stuff, and the way it's edited, like, that's all real. It's just that part would be AI, would be that element. I don't think they have anything like that yet, but, that's something that would be very helpful, for low budget filmmakers. That's cool stuff. But I don't want AI to be taking over humanity. Really, at first, people are gonna be like, "Oh, okay, yeah, 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 yeah," but eventually there will be a war between humans and the machines. We won't be alive when that happens. This is gonna happen like 100 years from now, so we'll be long gone by the time it happens. But there will be a Terminator world. It will be humans versus the machines. There's no way the AI is going to be great and wonderful forever, because the more and more power you're going to give to AI, the more intelligence you give it to them, the more they can pick up on human emotion, everything. Uh, it's scary. There was the whole writers and actors strike in 2023. And when I was at the Halloween convention, the actors from the Halloween movies were talking about it at the panels, their concerns for AI. Um, so it's a real thing, and people would lose jobs, you know, because of this. And I don't know. I'm a fan of people making movies, and it's all handmade, and nothing was done AI. CGI is different because that's still man-made. But just to just have AI do everything. Because it's also AI. They're not gonna be. They cannot like write and direct the way writers and directors can, because they don't understand human emotion. When they do, maybe then they can write that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's a hell of a tool. It's just a shame that there's so much fear of being replaced for cast and crew. Yes, yeah, the resistance will always win. I hope so too. I count CG as art. Yeah, it is. It is, because it's man-made. Um, uh, it's basically as if people were creating a painting, but it's just digital. So yeah, CGI is a part of art, and can be an amazing thing, and is an amazing thing if done if used right. In the right places. I overall like to make my films with practical effects, especially if low budget filmmakers. When you're super low budget, going practical is better anyway, because you know uh in order to have such great CGI in your movie, you have to have a crew, and they cost a lot of money. Like, that's the highest of your budget, is your CGI animators. So um yeah, I try to avoid CGI as much as I can in my films. There's just sometimes I can't. And thanks to productioncrate.com, with they have these effects that they create, and with those effects I can um, just add them into my movie, and then place those effect shots where I'd like them to be. Takes a lot of rendering, but I didn't have to CG I create that effect. That effect was already there. I just had to place it where I wanted it in the movie. um, and I think that's incredible. I'm really grateful for this technology, because my movies would not be uh, Rise of Elm Street, just all the previous movies. They would not have been exactly the same without Production Crate. Being able to add in CGI rain, or CGI fire, or smoke, steam, uh, just those kind of effects. Um, because a lot of those effects are hard to do practically, especially rain. Because I love to film a scene like out there in the rain with like sparklers, but that's really hard to do. So yeah, CGI does definitely comes in handy at times. Hey, Aaron, what movies you going to do next? All right, so now we're here at this part of the live stream where I'm going to be talking about the future of my channel and the future of my movies. So, Aaron, uh, Kaylee, uh, and anybody else that might be watching, I'm about to give you guys some updates on my films. Real quick, I'm gonna have a sip of water. I don't have to go anywhere. Just grab my bottle of water. Okay. Oh, we're just getting a little dehydrated. It's like here in PA, one day it's super hot, and then the next day it's super cold. It's definitely bipolar weather. Like this has not been a super sunny summer. I mean, it's like we've gotten a lot of rain, so it can get really cold, and then it can get super hot. Um, what movies you doing? You going to do next? Green screen is actually cool. Yeah, I don't know. Green screen, that's really technical, and I have used green screen before. I get really nervous with green screen because I don't want to film a scene, with actors behind that background, and I got something wrong, with the lighting, like one little thing you get wrong in green screen, and then like that's it. Like you have to be so it's so like precise of like how green screen is shot. It's not you can just film it and put actors up against it. You have to make sure everything is the right lighting is good, and so green screen makes me nervous. That's why I don't use it really. I if I can film the movie on an actual location, then I'd rather do that. Um, and also the actors are better on location. Green screen, they don't know what they're looking at. No, no, thank you, Aaron. I'm just speaking like my how I like feel as a filmmaker about my films. Um, uh, yeah, I mean, green screen. It's probably gonna have to be used at some point for one of my films for some shot, but it's not something that I'm going to heavily rely on. Because I love filming on real locations, real sets, and and doing that. Aaron, are you still here? Okay, Kaylee, are you still there? Okay. All right. Just making sure. Okay. All right. So future about my YouTube. I'm gonna wear glasses for this part 'cause eyesight's getting okay. Um. All right. So I completed the rough draft screenplay of. You guys want to know the title of the next and final Nightmare fan film for me and final fan film in general from me? You guys want to hear it? All right. Um, it is called A Christmas Nightmare. A Christmas Nightmare. Yes. It's going to be a Christmas themed Nightmare on Elm Street movie. Yes. Nightmare on Elm Street films, they never did that. Technical issues. Wait, what? Something wrong? Oh, tell me there's something wrong with my live stream. Please no. Okay. All right. All right. So it's called A Christmas Nightmare. It's a Christmas themed Nightmare on Elm Street fan film. Um, there's not really they've never done a nightmare themed nightmare, a Christmas themed nightmare movie, and I think for like Nightmare on Elm Street, it works. Doesn't work for like Halloween necessarily and Friday the 13th, but for Nightmare on Elm Street, I think it can work. Even for Scream, and it's more so that the movie just takes place during Christmas. It's not like the movie is focused on, oh, Christmas is coming up, and that's what everyone is talking about. That's not what the story is. I mean, most of the movie takes place at Weston Hills. It's takes place at a psychiatric facility, which is in the movies Springwood, um, and it goes into the corruption of the town, of what the people know about Freddy Krueger, and like the people that work at Weston Hills, and you see like their like lack of empathy and how much they don't care of what happens to these kids. Um, it's like this inevitability that they deal with all the time with Freddy. It's just like he's too powerful and no one's going to do anything to ever stop him. He's impossible to defeat. So why are we even going to try? So they treat like my character, um, Danny, and they treat uh, Asia's character Jess like crap. Like we're not treated well at the mental hospital because we're put away because oh, we're crazy, when we're really not. You know, but really, what Springwood is doing is they're trying to um, cover up Freddy. I mean, they're trying to stop the fear, of Freddy Krueger, and so that's basically what's going to happen with the film. That's the storyline. It's basically takes place at Weston Hills. It's definitely Dream Warrior. It's like if Dream Warriors was dark and like really dark in tone, really mean in tone, like a darker Dream Warriors. So it's definitely darker in tone from Rise of Elm Street. It's more serious, but I like how serious it is. Like I like the seriousness of it. Because there's still humor in some parts and stuff, but I think I wanted to go a little more serious with this one. Um, because the last one was, even though it was serious, I had comedic elements to it. But with the next Nightmare movie, I want to go a little more serious direction. I want to make Freddy even scarier. It's really trying to make that like Robert Englund version of Freddy, trying to really go back to, Freddy's Revenge and the original, where he's just really, really scary, and even more so Freddy's Revenge. Just not in the plot of that film. It's just how Freddy was in that movie, like how scary he was, the look of him and everything like that's the what I'm trying to go for. My uncle Gary, who plays Freddy Krueger in Rise of Elm Street, he got a brand new mask. That's the Dream Master one that he did wear for Rise of Elm Street, but it's even better than the one that he had. Like it's better quality. It looks more real. And when he told me that, I was like, "What? Like, are you kidding me?" So, like, we're making a next one, and the the quality of your mask is gonna look even better. Like, that's awesome. So it's the movie's gonna feel like it amped up with quality and buffing. So I have to thank my uncle Gary a lot for, him getting the whole Freddy costume for himself and everything, and just be able to use that for the movie, and, I didn't have to spend that or try to save up money. I mean, it's just that stuff's impossible. Is that it costs so much money. So I'm just grateful that that he has such a great costume and mask. Um, Freddy's sweater lends itself to this Christmas theme. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Too. Like it has that. It's gonna feel even more like that. Aaron asks, question. It's off topic. What are your thoughts on Nev Campbell coming back to Scream 7? Um, I'm really trying to like not. I don't want to talk about Scream 7, to be honest. Um, Yeah, I kinda wanna stay out of the controversy right now because there's 2 different sides of, like, the fan base, and I just don't wanna yeah, um, yeah, I just rather not talk about it. I'm gonna do a reaction video to Scream 7, and what's gonna be hilarious about it is I'm not even gonna be talking in that video. It's just literally I'm just gonna be playing the trailer, and you see my reaction to it, and then that's it. I'm not gonna be talking about it, like, after the reaction video, like, it's gonna be, like, my shortest reaction video, um, but, yeah, um, yes, I was thinking that this next nightmare is literally your dream warriors. Thank you. Thank you, Kaylee. That's how I feel about this movie, is it's like, it's definitely it pays homage to, Dream Warriors, but but I'm still doing entirely my own thing with it. But it's just more serious in tone, a little darker in tone, modern day, you know. Um, but uh, Scott Foley going to be in Scream 7, so is Matthew Lillard. I know, and I think all this is AI, which honestly, I am glad that a Scream movie is going into AI. I am glad that though, because AI, that's what we're dealing with right now. It's crazy. And That's the perfect time to make a Scream movie where Ghostface utilizes it. It makes more sense now than it did with Scream 3, because in 2000